I'm Stephen McClellan, I'm the Chief Executive of RAMH, and we are delighted to have been involved, I guess, since the instigation of the Recovery College. Must be 3 years or so now back, I think, since the whole thing kicked off. And I want to acknowledge our partners in the North Ayrshire HSCP and others who have contributed, and I guess had the foresight and the vision to take a bit of a punt on what was quite a unique and quite a different way of going about things. But hopefully that they and others, and yourselves particularly, have seen the value of that. I guess that there's one clear and simple way to show the value, is that I'm delighted to say that the service has been recontracted for another 3 to 5 years. So thank you very much to the Council and all others, and thank you to the students who have made it something. Had you not got involved, had you not been participants, and had you not driven the way the college has grown and evolved, then we wouldn't be here today. So you as individuals, those that are in the room just now, those that have been involved at any point over the last 3 years, should take great credit for your personal contribution to this. So thank you very much for that.
Before I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety, I was in a very, very dark place, but I didn't know it. And it came through in my expressive activities, my paintings, my drawings. And when I came back to Largs, I went for an open day, and the team from the college were there, and one person asked me an important question, and it's one of the things that we learn on our courses. How could I move away from that dark painting that I was doing? And the simple answer was to introduce colour, and I hadn't done that for a long time. I am now producing a lot of my own work, which I hadn't done for a long, long time. And I haven't bought a tube of black paint in 3 years. Everything's full of colour.
My mental health was really bad during lockdown, and I had relapsed and stuff. And being connected with the Recovery College, that really made a big difference to my life. You know, I believe that addiction, the opposite for addiction is connection. And being connected and doing courses to help with mental health and stuff has helped me gain a lot of confidence and self-esteem. Not just that, it helped me to believe in myself. So doing different courses has been amazing. You know, a lot of people go and do courses at uni and stuff, but see the Recovery College, I'm so grateful to be able to stand here and promote Recovery College. As somebody, I'm in recovery now for 2 years, and what's happened is I managed to get a job, and I now help people out there that's in addiction, which I absolutely love. I love giving back to the community, you know, being out there. I've got a lot of clients. It's full-time work. I never actually thought I'd be ready for it. I'm now settling into the job, which has taken me 3 months, and I absolutely love it. See, the courses are just amazing. Anything to do with mental health. It's been amazing for me. I'm just, you know, I could cry because it touches me so deeply, this, and I've actually got the privilege to pass on and help others get into Recovery College too, which is a big part of my heart today as well. So thanks for the time. Thanks very much.
What was the impact of the Recovery College on students' sense of well-being, their sense of connectedness, and their hope for the future? So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Next slide, thanks. Here we go. Here's the boring stats bit, but I promise to keep it really interesting and really simple to understand. So when the students come in to the Recovery College, at baseline, well, so when they first attend, they're asked to, could you go back one slide, sorry. They're asked to undertake, that's fine, no, more forward again, sorry. They're asked to undertake a standardised tool, which is their WEMWeb score. So the WEMWeb score is a really neat tool. It was devised by the Warwickshire Mental Health School or Medical School. And what's really, really exciting about this tool is it gives you normative data. What does that mean, I hear you asking? Well, that tells you how close your score is to the general population. So that's what normative data means. And all this graph, all you need to take from this graph is on their first assessment, the mean score for the students who participated was 16.78. And the normative score, so the normal for the general population, would be around 23.6. So you can see that their well-being maybe wasn't as good as we would hope for the general population. But what was really exciting and what blew my mind as a researcher, you can see the trend from first, second, third, fourth assessment, and they undertake these assessments every trimester or semester. And when they got to the fourth assessment, I know you can't see the numbers, but I'll read it for you. The number is 23.58. And can you remember what the normative assessment score was for the general population? Yeah, amazing. So that really blew my mind as a researcher. And as someone who has worked clinically in the NHS for many years in mental health, I have to say there's not many traditional mental health treatments that I've seen have had that impact on people from when they've come at baseline to when they reach their fourth assessment period. So that's all you need to take from the boring stats. All I can say is that Jeanette and her team are really doing something that's making a difference. Does the Recovery College have the potential to reduce pressure on our overstretched mental health services? I guess that's for you to decide based on the findings of everything that you hear today and in the evaluation report. But I strongly believe from what I found and what I learned from the independent evaluation, that is absolutely the case. I'm going to stop there because I've probably gone over time. Is there another slide? Did you split it up? One more slide. Yeah, here we go. So the meaningful improvements in wellbeing were demonstrated. Students progressed through the college, as you know, in a track system, and that was really important because they could move through at their own pace. And what blew my mind was by track 3 in graduation, the mean scores were in keeping with the general normal population scores. And improvements in student wellbeing had a positive impact, and I think this is a really important point actually to finish off with. It wasn't just on the students themselves, but it was their family. So I'm thinking of one lady in particular who said it made such a difference to her children because she's now going out the house, she's now taking them to clubs, she's now doing so much more with her family. So not only an impact on the students, but on the next generation to come. And that for me as an evaluator was really so important to hear.
My name's Jackie, and I'm going to talk about my journey from being a newbie student at Recovery College to where I am now. My journey began in September 2019 when I enrolled at Recovery College. There I heard about the aims and hopes and courses for students, and it was enough to convince me, sorry, if I do that I can see it better, it was enough to convince me to sign up, and so my journey began. I was really struggling to go out the house at that time. Panic attacks at thought of leaving my house and being in a state of high anxiety if I did were everyday occurrences. The first courses I did for me were a trial because of my difficulty in leaving the house. But by the time I arrived at a venue, I was exhausted. It was enough for me just to be there, not to converse, just to sit and listen. Drumming was one of my first courses. I was so shaky I could hardly even hit the drum. But luckily for me, a fellow student, Wilma, took me under her wing and encouraged me to keep going and to join in every week. And I thought about painting an elephant, and from there the idea of my own course was born. Sorry. I thought about important wellbeing and recovery strategies to address in the course, such as it's okay to be me, looking at self-acceptance, try something new, looking at empowerment, keep on keeping on, about not giving up, and the kindness within, sharing compassion and self-compassion. I feel I've turned full circle. From that withdrawn wreck of a woman, I've found myself again. I've led my own course in person 4 times now and facilitated many courses on Zoom. Thank you to Recovery College for recovering me.
You're the reason, everyone in this room, and people like you are the reason why I get out my bed in the morning and do my job, because it's an absolute privilege and pleasure to see the power that peer has on people's lives, and it really does transform your life. Time and time again, we hear that mental health services are at breaking point. They can't take any more. And I often wonder, what can we do? What makes the difference? What's the special ingredient? And that truly is peer support. The Recovery College at down here, and the work that Jeanette and the team do, is really quite transformational. You're part of that journey.
That's just a really quick snapshot of the year that we're celebrating today, and how we offered 77 courses in the 3 terms over that year. Out of the courses, there was 51 course evaluations completed, and approximately overall 72% of those who completed the courses filled in their evaluation.
We've talked about the chime about hope, optimism, connectedness, and I thought there was a wonderful quote in the Brené Brown, which I think just, for me, I want to close in. Hope is a function of struggle. We develop hope not during the easy or comfortable times, but through adversity and discomfort. And I think the Recovery College just epitomises hope.
I was listening to the drums going today, and it took me back actually to kind of The Lion King and seeing the Lion King musical. And as people were speaking, I was beginning to think the theme tune or the theme song for the Recovery College should be The Circle of Life, because what I've heard in terms of people's stories today is people coming into the Recovery Colleges like Simba, blinking into the world, a bit uncertain, unsure, what are you going to do, how's this going to work, how's life going to be, and then coming to the end of the Recovery College journey and they're the leaders of the Pride, or leading with Pride, whatever words you want to use. And that's what I've heard in terms, and for all of those graduating today, I think you are the leaders and have been the leaders as a peer volunteer and leaders within the Recovery College, and it is so inspirational to be here. It really is such a privilege to hear your stories and your journey, and I'd just like to give all of you a round of applause and say a huge congratulations for getting here and the journey you have been on.
I prefer the bumblebee. Keep going, drummers. Bumblebee. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Till the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Here we go. Bumblebee. One more time. Bumblebee. 4, 3, 2, 1.
learned from the staff, tutors, students, and my fellow peer volunteers. I thank you all for being part of my journey over the past few years. It has been a joy to see you all flourish in your own personal ways. I send my best wishes for your future for all the forthcoming days. I have always said every day is a learning day. I am leaving the college, but I will continue my personal development and growth along the way, maintaining the friendships I have made and living my future with hope, using all my learning and passing it on to others to help them cope. A few words from the hymn Amazing Grace I will now quote to finish my poem, The Journey So Far I Have Wrote. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. This describes my amazing journey with the college for me. Thank you for listening.